Now this is a very interesting chart. I got this, I think this was from Zero Hedge. I've never heard of this particular chart, how they measure it against GDP. I'll get to that in a second. August U.S. auto production set to plunge by the most in 16 months. Over the past several months, many pundits were scratching their heads at the peculiar patterns in summer hiring and layoff trends, which threw all NFP claims and GOLTS's forecasts into a loop, making a mockery of even the best forecasters, even the best expert. Oh, we're expecting growth. You ain't expecting crap. Shut your mouth and tell the truth for once. It's going to get worse, folks. That's what you need to say. But no, auto industry, everything is looking good, looking good. That's what they said. Yet it has now going to plunge the most in 16 months. The reality is that there was a very specific reason for this abnormal seasonal pattern. Numerous car plants worked throughout the summer, avoiding the traditional temporary shutdowns in an attempt to provide an optical boost to the union-endorsed administration. In other words, we normally have slowdowns, we normally have layoffs. We're going to skip right over that so we can pump out the best numbers for the Obama administration, or whatever, the government. We'll just call it that. The government. So, okay, so you do something in advance. You made all these extra cars, all this extra production, when you normally don't need to. Didn't need to this year. You just basically pretended as if there was this massive demand, which there wasn't. And now that's coming home to roost now. So now the numbers are showing we got all this extra inventory. Now maybe we'll do some layoffs. And as always happens, and he says, see cash for clunkers again. Every attempt to pull demand or supply from the future to the present results in an eventual collapse in either of these two. Sure enough, with June and July reaping the benefits of advanced demand, which really wasn't there, August is set to be an absolute abysmal month for U.S. auto assemblies and for industrial production, because as Stone-McCarthy calculates, based on projections provided by Ward's Autos, the U.S. motor vehicle assembly rate in August is projected to decline by 8% to a 10.1 million annualized rate after rising by 4.4% in July. One step forward, two steps back. This would be the biggest monthly percentage decline in the assembly rate in about a year and a half since April's 2011's 9.5% drop. And someone made a comment and said, well, regarding those numbers in GDP, which we're looking at a 2% GDP for the third quarter increase is what the experts have been saying. Okay. Someone said basically the garbage waste rail cars, there's a way of looking at that chart and telling what happens to GDP. When one moves, the other moves, almost in unison. And this is from 1994 to 2012. I'm just gonna hold this up for a minute. And we are right here where this arrow is. And as you can see, this bottom one, which again this isn't color, but the bottom one is the waste carloads. The bottom line here is the waste carloads, and the top one is GDP. So waste carloads falling off a cliff. GDP, you can just barely see it creeping down. Wonder where that trend's gonna go. Future events form, or excuse me, current events form future trends. Gerald Celente, thank you very much. So we clearly see what we're going to do. Incredible. Wow. That lets you know there is no recovery. It's all fake. How do you think $9 trillion in 2008, at the end of 2008 when Obama took office, has now turned into 16 trillion? We are 2 trillion away from doubling the debt in a matter of one single presidential term, 4 years? Are you freaking kidding me? Recover. Oh, Obama was handed a lot for dealing with what he was handed. I'm gonna vote for him again. The debt was 8 trillion when he started. It's 16 trillion now. By the time he leaves office in a few more months, Maybe it'll be 16.5 trillion. Maybe it'll be 17 trillion. Who knows? Oh, Mitt Romney, he'll win and he'll fix it. He said he's going to fire Ben Bernanke. Yet, his top financial advisor for the Romney Group is saying we really need to consider giving Ben Bernanke 3 terms as head of the central bank. From Romney's top advisor? Yeah. But he just said as soon as he was hired as the president, first thing he would do is throw Bernanke out. But his top advisor is telling him, nah, we really need to give him a 3rd term. And like all history shows us, the king doesn't do crap, may not know crap, maybe the dumbest idiot on the face of the earth, but he is surrounded by this group of people who always help him make his mind up. They are called advisors. You think Barack Obama is a master economist, master war strategizer? You could pick any nut job off the side of the street and throw them in there and surround them by the same advisors they surround every president with, and what do you think's going to happen? The same result. Well, I'm going to go to my go-to guy in the economy. What should I be doing right now? Should I sign this bill into law? Absolutely. I'm going to sign it into law. My war guy. Should we go after Iran yet? No, not yet. Okay, I'm listening to you. Etc. They've got all their advisors in every category you can think of that tell them what to do. This is no different. And I've got a couple other videos to do real quick.